your father tells you his story, and her father he died 20 years ago and he didn't get a chance to tell her his story. Your mother says that. Your brother tells you that he had your meal at the table. Whatever the situation is, some of it is right and most of it are. And you find these people so full that she start crying. Okay? I can tell you your father tells you sorry. No, these are the things. I watch that. We don't have time for that. We know about this stuff. That is the reality. Okay? So the point is, all these shows that that is how they work. Those people have connection with the jinn as we believe. So he's telling you, فَيُكَاشِفُونَ النَّاسَ بِبَعْضِ الْأُمُورِ وَلَهُمْ تَصَرُّفَاتٌ خَارِقَةٌ مِنْ جِنْسِ السِّحْرِ. And they have abnormal actions, things that people he has. This guy is special. And if you really, it boils down to be magic. Okay? It boils down to be magic. وهم من جنس الكهان والسحرة الذين تنزل عليهم الشياطين. So those people who can fool people and show them these abnormal things, and these extraordinary things, supernatural things, they are at the end, if they are not from the awliya of Allah, if they are not people who believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if they are not people following the book of Allah and the sunnah of the messenger, automatically they belong to this group, the group of magicians, and the group of psychics, and the group of soothsayers, and the group of fortune tellers. That's what these people belong to, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about them in the Quran. So يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى in سورة الشعراء هل أنبئكم على من تنزل الشياطين. Allah tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell them, should I tell you whom the shayateen descend on? And what kind of people the shayateen will descend on? What kind of people the shayateen will come down to affect? What kind of people the shayateen will come to possess and help them in their deception? تنزل على كل أفاك أثيم. These shayateen and these devils and these jinns come to every أفاك أثيم. أفاك يعني شديد الكذب. الأفاك is someone who lies too much. أثيم is someone who's so much into the sins. يعني very sinful person. And the reason Allah revealed this ayah, when they accused the Prophet ﷺ of being a kahin, soothsayer, fortune teller, when they accused him of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals this ayah, and he said, shouldn't we tell you about who are the who received the messages from the shayateen? Because they said Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam deals with the shayateen. He gets all these stuff he's telling us from the shayateen. They tell him the few. Even the kuffar of Quraysh believed in that. Okay? So they say he tells them all these. They tell him, the shayateen tell him, so he has contact with them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals this ayah, and he said, the shayateen come on a liar and sinful. And you, the people of Mecca and the Arabs, you know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not a liar. And you know he's not a sinful person. You are the ones who describe him to be the trustworthy. And you know the shayateen only come to the liars and the bad people. So this way, he's not kahin and he's not liar. So his message is not received from the shayateen. يلقون السمع وأكثرهم كاذبين. يعني those الجن والشياطين, they try to eavesdrop in what's happening in the heavens, and most of them are liars. وهؤلاء جميعهم الذين ينتسبون إلى المكاشفات وخوارق العادات إذا لم يكونوا متبعين للرسل فلا بد أن يكذبوا وتكذبهم شياطينهم. So those people who claim, يعني fortune tellers, they claim to know the future, they think they know the unseen, they do these extraordinary or supernatural things. If they are not on the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ, then they are got to be liars who are dealing with the shayateen, and they are liars, and their shayateen they deal with, consider them liars. ولا بد أن يكون في أعمالهم ما هو إثم وفجور مثل نوع من الشرك أو الظلم أو الفواحش أو الغلو أو البدع في العبادة ولهذا تنزلت عليهم الشياطين واقترنت بهم فصاروا من أولياء الشيطان لا من أولياء الرحمن. The only way that they are able, because not every sinful person has these supernatural things that he can show. Not every person who's not believing in Allah can perform those supernatural things. But the reason that certain groups of people can do that, because they got so much into the kufr, so much into the shirk, so much into the innovations and bid'ah, so much into the magic. And it became their way of life. So once they committed shirk to its deepest roots, once they committed wickedness to the deepest root, that's when they deserved the support of the shaytan. And you have even the support of the shaytan, you need to work for it. Okay? You have to work to get there. And this is, if I use the word science, this is science taught. How to get the support of the shayateen, how to bring those shayateen, how to convince them that you're one of their allies and one of their allies. Very important. There's school for that, huh? Harry Potter. All right. I didn't watch that. All right. ولهذا تنزلت عليهم الشياطين واقترنت بهم فصاروا من أولياء الشيطان لا من أولياء الرحمن. This is the result because of their indulgement, complete conviction of this magic and of this power and of this innovations and this shirk and fuhsh and wickedness. That's why they deserve to become from the أولياء of الشيطان لا أولياء الرحمن. يقول الله تعالى ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن نقيض له شيطانا فهو له قرين. يعني Allah says that ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن. ذكر الرحمن يعني the Quran and the Sunnah. And whoever turns his back to the remembrance of Allah, Quran and Sunnah, the guidance of Allah, نقيض له قرين. نقيض له شيطان. We're gonna accompany with him a shaytan. يعني we're gonna honor him with a partner who does not leave him, shaytan. And this shaytan will assist him to do all this deception. فهو له قرين. قرين يعني company. يعني he will accompany him wherever he is. ومن يعش عن ذكر الرحمن, whoever turns his back and whoever rejects the orders and the dhikr and the remembrance of Allah and the guidance, he's going to be a tool in the hands of the shayateen. Just like they're going to use him the way they want. Okay? وذكر الرحمن هو الذكر الذي بعث به رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أو بعث به رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم مثل القرآن ونحن نقول والسنة. Islam says ذكر الرحمن يعني the guidance that Allah sent his messenger with صلى الله عليه وسلم, like the Quran, and add to that the Sunnah. That is the hikmah. Okay? فمن لم يؤمن بالقرآن ويصدق خبره ويعتقد وجوب أمره فقد أعرض عنه فيقيض له الشيطان فيقترن به. So whoever does not believe in the Quran, does not obey its commands, and does not believe in the mandation of the commands in the Quran, then he deserves to be, he's rejecting the words of Allah, and he will get the company of the shaitan. قال الله تعالى وهذا ذكر مبارك أنزلناه وقال تعالى ومن أعرض عن ذكري فإن له معيشة ضنكا ونحشره يوم القيامة أعمى. And whoever turns his back to me, then we will give him a miserable life. And we will resurrect him on the day of judgment blind. قال رب لما حشرتني أعمى وقد كنت بصيرا. He will say, oh Allah, why am resurrected blind and in life I was able to see. قال كذلك أتتك آياتنا فنسيتها وكذلك اليوم تنسى. Allah will say, that's you were seeing, you were able to see when our ayat came to you, when our signs came to you. You were able to see, but you neglected it. You forgot about it. You ignored it. وَكَذَلِكَ الْيَوْمَ تُنْسَى. And today you will be forgotten. Allah لا ينسى. Allah does not forget. Yeah? هتأخذه سنة